Hello, my name is jhouse. I'm the CEO and founder of Digital Silva. So today I wanted to put together this little video introducing Digital Silva, introducing myself, and kind of talking about what we do. So with that being said, my background is relatively long and diverse. Done a number of things in my life. Start off love of the outdoors through Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout, Boy Scout Troop 974 out of Westchester, Ohio. From there, I was a firefighter EMT. Did that for about 3.5 years. After that, worked in the sheet metal union for a little bit. Did some carpentry. Lived out west for a while. And then I worked at an outdoor shop. And through talking to people through all those different facets, just a few chance, conversations. Some park rangers out west, and the assistant manager of Benchmark at the time was a Hawken College grad. I decided to go to Hawken College and study forest management. It's a little 2-year school in southeastern Ohio. And it was there that, I discovered my love for forestry and the industry as a whole. And then I started to get a little bit into tech stuff. And I thought it was really cool. So COVID hit, and I had already talked to a few instructors about, transferring to a bigger school and get my 4-year degree. And it just seemed like the right time to do that. So I lost 100 pounds, joined the Army National Guard, and that's what I did. So I started at Purdue in fall of 2021. And at that same time, too, I started working in the Forest Advanced Computing Artificial Intelligence Lab, the FCAIA lab for short. And in that lab, I did, worked on some carbon matrix models, various forest growth models, and just a lot of, working with big data. We were able to, stack a bunch of stuff up and then, look at stuff over time, whether that was species composition change, whether that was growth rates. I looked at a number of different stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of small little side projects I got into working in that lab. Worked in that lab for about 3.5 years. Just recently resigned from that lab this past January, mainly because, of starting Digital Silva. Didn't want there to be a conflict of interest. Research-wise as well at Purdue. Also worked in the data mine on the U.S. Forest Service project. That was 2023, and then in fall of 2021 and 2022, spring of 2022, I worked on the Black Walnut project at the Hardwood Tree Improvement Regeneration Center. So that's a little bit about me. Now, why I started Digital Silva. So, like I said, I was working at the FCAIA lab while doing my undergrad classes at Purdue. And, I was working with a lot of cool technology. They got a little bit of LiDAR data, but not much. But what really did it was I got talking to a few consulting foresters at a Indiana State chapter meeting of the Society of American Foresters. And, without naming names, there was a bunch of good guys at that meeting, and they were telling me it'd be really great if somebody could come on out and measure their trees accurately with a drone. They know it's the future, but they don't know if it's there now. They had seen some demos from a few different academic labs. And it had been a while since they'd seen that, and, there hasn't really been much published in the industry on that. So I was like, yeah, that'd be really cool, and I do think it's the future. And one guy said in particular too, he's like, man, and in terms of spraying too, it'd be really great if I could just hire somebody to take a smaller agricultural spray drone and spray bush honeysuckle, autumn olive, multiflora, stuff like that. So, I got thinking on that, looked into it, and really nobody was doing it. And what really made me pull the trigger was I found a company called Deep Forestry. They're based out of Sweden. And they have a drone that flies autonomously below the forest canopy. You've probably already seen some footage of that drone. It's also on my YouTube channel here, Digital Silva Drones. So feel free to check that out. It is an awesome drone. The accuracy on it is great. and it's been a wonderful platform to work with in, you know, deep forestry. Levi, his team, they're great to work with. But I discovered them, and, you know, I had a few meetings with them, and it's like, all right, cool, this is plausible. And nobody was doing it in the central hardwoods. There was a few people kind of starting to do stuff similar out west, but not with a deep forestry drone, with some backpack LiDAR and some other tools. So I figured I would start Digital Silva and just have those as my two main, you know, service facets. But then quickly it evolved. So a couple months back, I got into selling drones. So I'm a reseller and dealer for a number of companies, including Anza Robotics, Ascent Aerosystems, ABZ Innovation, Inspired Flight, Free Flight Systems, Wingtra, Quantum Systems, and of course Deep Forestry. I sell their system as well. Then a number of payloads I can sell as well too. So, you know, pretty much you got a drone, or if you need a drone and, you know, you got a use case, I can sell you a drone and sell you a payload. If you have an idea, I guarantee you it can be solved with the drone. So, you know, and some of the other things I've gone into too, you know, looking at a little bit of software development and, you know, just general consulting. Because, yeah, there's not many people that do this, and I guess I'm an expert. Even though I don't like that term, it's weird to say. But, yeah, it's been interesting. It's been a very great journey so far. And, you know, I got a good team of people I'm working with. And, you know, there's a lot of great companies I've been working with as well. So, with that being said, that's just kind of introducing Digital Silva, myself, and what we do. So, yeah, if you have any questions, or if you'd like to buy a drone, or if you'd like to contract us out to do digital forest inventory, or to do spraying and seeding, those services will be coming up here soon. Spraying will be starting probably sometime this September, October, and then seeding, as long as I'm below 55 pounds, which I can easily, you know, do that. I can start that here probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I do have a Helio AG216 on order, and hopefully it should be delivered sometime later this week or early next week. And as soon as it comes in, yes, I will be doing a video on that as well. So, with that being said, yeah, this is Digital Silva. Thanks for watching. And my contact information, if you're interested in having us come out to do some service work or to buy a drone or a payload, is jhouse@digitalsilva.io is my email. And then my work phone is 765-559-3630. Feel free to, you know, give me a call, text anytime, shoot me an email. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do plan on putting out a lot more content on this channel in regards to what the deep forestry drone can do. You know, some different stuff related to the spraying and seeding drone I got on order too, and just some different developments and, you know, stuff that I've learned and, you know, stuff I think is cool. So yeah, that being said, have a great day.